Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for our Village of Alsip Board meeting. Today's March 3rd, 2025, and we'll call this meeting in order at 7:31 p.m. Can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Dalzell?
Here.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McLaughlin?
Here.
Trustee Murphy?
Here.
Trustee Navas Barza is absent. Trustee Peretta?
Here.
Mayor Ryan?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Officer reports, starting with mine. First this evening, I did get a notice from the PACE bus service, and they sent out a notice regarding Route 383. And just so everybody's familiar with that, this is the service that runs down Cicero Avenue from the Orange Line at Midway Airport all the way to Oak Forest Hospital at 159th and Cicero. And they were saying that they're going to be improving service starting today. Actually, it was yesterday, Sunday. Starting weekdays, they're going to start at 5:22 a.m. in the morning and operating until 11:16 p.m. at night. Additional trips added. The bus will run about every 30 minutes, and schedule updated to improve on-time performance. On Saturdays, I'm sorry, that's weekdays. I apologize. Weekdays from 5:22 a.m. to 11:16 p.m. On Saturdays, 5:27 a.m. until 10:50 p.m. And due to low ridership, service between 103rd and Cicero and 104th and Pulaski, in other words, east and west, will be discontinued on Saturday. I guess they have enough people riding the bus. And on Sundays, they're going to improve the hours again of service. Will be available from 5:30 in the morning until 10:13 p.m. at night. So again, we're going to post this on our tomorrow. I'll give this to the clerk to post this on our web page and Facebook page as well then too. So the public, and we'll post this in the hallway for folks to see. Next, I just want to let everybody know this past Friday, our health inspector retired, and I have a meeting tomorrow with her supervisor, Ken Panarella. He's our licensed health inspector. I have a meeting with him tomorrow morning to talk about alternatives for the health department, and I also contacted 3 contractors to find out if we can possibly subcontract this work as well then too. First on your agenda this evening, I brought this up to the board last week, was an approval to transfer $14,718,986 from the Village of Alsip's OPEB account to the Alsip Police Pension Fund, as Lauterbach and Amon, who have reported the police pensions total pension liability stood at, for round numbers, $72 million, which is funded at 52.7% as of April 30th, 2024, while the fire pension stood at $57 million, which was approximately 73%. The fund transfer will demonstrate parity with the fire pension while leaving approximately $18.7 million in the OPEB account that Lauterbach and Amon show as having a $49.2 million liability. That's not a pension liability, that's a retirement liability. That's what the village is responsible for health care and so forth, all the benefits for retirees. As a reminder, the police and fire pensions are supposed to be funded to 90% by the year 2040, and that's a state mandate to make that happen yet too. The reason I was suggesting this now, board, was, data we were given years ago suggested that pension liability was quite a bit, I'm sorry, I stand corrected, the OPEB liability. What an OPEB means is that's other post-employment benefits. Like I said, that's your health care, insurances and whatnot for retirees. We were always of the impression it was well over $120 million. This actuary from Lauterbach and Amon, that's an accounting firm that we utilize, said that it's only $49 million. So this will leave, like I said, $18.7 million against that $49 million. So we're a little bit less than halfway there. to fund this as well, too. But our goal is to have this funded by 2040. More importantly, while the money is available and the way the market, even today, changed quite a bit, with it going down almost 600 points, with uncertainty due to tariff concerns right now and so forth, I think it's a good time to use these funds to not only demonstrate parity, but get in front of our obligation to fund these pensions up to 90% by the year 2040. I know there was a couple of folks not here last week. Was there any questions on this?
No, I had that conversation with the finance director 2 weeks ago, so.
Oh, thank you. Okay, good. Trustee McLaurin, you're the chair of finance. You okay with that?
Yeah, as I said, when the finance director and I met prior to the committee meeting 2
Okay.
weeks ago, that was one of the items that we had discussed, and she was going to look into it and reach out to Vince.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. And, all right. And that's all I had for this evening. So we'll go to the clerk's report. Clerk Harding?
Thank you, Mayor. I have the approval of the February 17th, 2025 board meeting minutes, presentation and approval of the February 24th, 2025 committee meeting minutes, and presentation and approval of the January 2025 IDOT motor fuel tax allotment in the amount of $69,832.89. And that is all I had, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Next, we have the attorney's report. We have Joe Kankar with us. Joe?
I have nothing, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. We'll go to the engineer's report. Jeff Agin. Jeff?
Thank you, Mayor. We have a request of approval of the resolution authorizing execution of the application for the Cook County, Illinois 2025 Community Development Block Grant. That's the CDBG, which requests $400,000 in funding for the roadway improvements of the 109th Street alley between Keeler Avenue and Kamensky Avenue. Such we were submitting for a grant to try to get some funding, $400,000 worth of funding to improve that alley. And second, we have a request of approval of a resolution to authorize execution of a grant application for the Invest in Cook grant program, which will request funding for the improvements along Holman Avenue from 131st Street north to the railroad tracks. So this is another application to try to get some grant funding to help cover the cost of that roadway improvement, which is
Understood. So we're still slated for letting, in other words, contractor approvals and whatnot in 2026, correct, for that same street?
that's for 131st Street. This is Holman.
Oh, you're right. This is going to be Holman. This is the cross street over there.
Correct.
Okay, understood. So again, for the benefit of the public looking at this, we're applying for two grants. The first one, $400,000 to reconstruct an alley. We only got 3 alleys in the whole village, I think, right? 4 maybe?
Sounds about right. Yeah, not a lot.
So this is the alley behind 119th Street between Keeler and Kaminsky, and then for $400,000, and their request for approval, like as you said, to and that's through the CDBG program through the county, and the other is through Cook County and the Invest in Cook to resurface Holman Avenue between 131st Street and the tracks where we meet northbound, where we meet Blue Island.
I'm sorry, what do you mean? Oh, Blue Island, correct, yes.
Exactly. Okay, very good. Thanks, Jeff.
Yep. Yeah, and then there's one other thing. I know later on in the agenda here, there's information pertaining to the 4-year IEPA loan interest loan, but I just wanted to mention that information regarding that 4-year water main replacement program is available here at Village Hall for review for the public. There's a public comment period where we'll have all that information available for 10 days to satisfy the requirements of the loan.
Jeff, when are we slated for the hearing for that?
Well, it ends up because of the format and the way that the environmental requirements fell. It fell in a good way. We don't need an actual official public hearing. So
Only if unless somebody contests our request for the loan.
right, yeah. So we take all that information. If anybody comments, everybody's free to review all that information at the Village Hall, submit formal comments, and then we send that off to the IEPA, and then they'll review all that information, and I think they'll have a draft list of projects that are funded in June, and the final list will be available in July.
Okay. So again, what Jeff is saying is we are applying for a $15 million Environmental Protection Agency loan,
16.
$16 million, to cover 4 years of infrastructure replacement with water mains and so forth throughout the village. We've identified at least 4 years' worth of work.
Right, it's about 4.5 miles of water main.
4.5 miles of water main with a 1.8% interest rate on that yet too, so it's extremely low interest rate to make all this work happen, and we've got 20 years to repay the loan.
Right.
Great.
20 or 30. And there may be loan forgiveness. Don't know for sure yet, but that may be a part of it.
Okay,
Potential.
okay. Very good. Thanks, Jeff. And thanks for helping with this application, because I know these, a lot goes into place. And also, the other information you just sent over to me, this is for the CDBG you sent me this afternoon.
Correct.
Here, I'll sign off, I'll get that going, and I'll get that back to you tomorrow then, too.
Yep, yeah, we also had some application loan for the loan as well that I had sent on Thursday or Friday as well.
Okay, I signed those already. Matter of fact, I got those for you right here.
Cool.
That was for the EPA?
Correct.
I've got those right here for you. Okay.
Good, thanks.
Thank you, Jeff. Next, we have the public forum. Did anyone in the audience wish to address the board tonight? Nobody? You want to speak to the board, sir?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead, go up to the mic.
Go first.
Huh?
No, they're...
Nobody
they're
else wanted to,
students.
yeah.
Oh, okay, well,
If you would, please, go up to the microphone here. We record all these.
my name is Alan Stuccio. I live at 11941 Kedville, and I've talked to the mayor and other people here before about a situation that is between my house and a neighbor's house. They've been putting down motor oil, transmission fluid, antifreeze on the drive, and I'm the low guy, and when it rains, all that stuff washes into my drive. I talked to the mayor, I talked to other people, and nothing has been done about cleanup. Like I said, the oil goes down, speedy dry on top, then oil goes down, more speedy dry. It ain't getting cleaned up properly. This is a hazmat situation, folks. And they trespass on my driveway every day for the last 2.5 years. I figured about counting the days of the year, the times I've done at least 1,800 times of trespass on my driveway to better themselves. I don't use their driveway. That's not fair to me. And then I sent a picture to the mayor, and they got a bag of Speedy Dry, and I showed you the picture. If anybody else would like to see, I'd be more than happy to show it to them. The Speedy Dry bag got there late Friday, and it's been sitting there unopened, and now we're going to get rain Tuesday and Wednesday. They're talking about well over an inch of rain, and all this oil and crap is going to end up in my driveway. That's not fair to me. This is very disrespectful and not acceptable, in my opinion. If you think it is, tell me why.
So,
What are you going to do to correct this?
So we were exchanging messages this morning, and the building commissioner was at your neighbor's house today. I've got 5 pictures here that he sent me, and it says he just left the house, knocked on the door, rang the bell, cars are in the driveway, nobody coming to the door. And I've got pictures of the vehicles in the drive, and what the gentleman is saying is that his neighbor, they've got driveways that abut up to each other, and his neighbor's car apparently leaks oil pretty bad, and what the neighbor did was put some oil dry, which is a substance to help dry up oil that you typically would just sweep up after it does its job. They haven't swept it up.
Never.
But they have put out the oil dry to saturate, pick up the saturation of oil that's on the driveway, but they haven't cleaned it up. But as I told you earlier, Alf, according to the building commissioner, he's not here this evening, but his message to me was, he says there was nobody there. I told him, I says, I understand. Please leave them a notice asking them to clean up the possible hazard. And he said everything is currently being contained onto their property as depicted. I believe it was the 3rd picture with it's the pictures he sent me with oil dry. But anyway, he's addressing it, Al, so that's the best I can do. I had somebody at their house today, and he's working on it and stuff then too, okay?
Well, it's getting real bad, sir, because now they're devaluating my property by their spillages, and they just go right by it. They don't do anything about it. If they showed attempt, fine. If it was an accident, that's fine too. But this is intentional, and they're doing nothing about it. They're trying to tick me off, which is they are, And I'm trying to do this respectfully with you folks to get this cleaned up, because this is all uncalled for.
Well, like I said, this isn't a police matter, it's a building matter, it's a housing matter, and I have the right authority on it today.
Okay.
And he was out there like at 8 o'clock this morning trying to satisfy this thing. I'll double check with him tomorrow and see if he made any
I told you
problem with it.
folks, I says, my doorbells sometimes don't work, it's a bad button. I told everybody, call me. You all have my number to get in contact with me, because sometimes if I'm downstairs, I wouldn't hear my doorbell if it's upstairs.
Now,
It's hard to hear me at my age.
Why would we have to call you? I mean, you've already identified the problem. We're trying to get your neighbor to clean up his drive, right?
Right, well, you know, they're just avoiding you because one of your police officers, there was a white tow truck, I can show you the picture of that too, that they wrote a ticket on this vehicle for whatever reason. There was a young gal, long ponytail, I think her was Cindy or Sandy, her name is, I don't remember. But anyway, she put a ticket on that white tow truck, and now what they're doing, they're parking that they're backing the tow truck up into the driveway, so whatever she wrote the ticket for, they're trying to ignore that, and they know that how they can get away with things by parking their vehicles in the drive, because this is what they did before, and they're trying to outfox you guys.
Okay, well, obviously she identified a problem and she's addressing it. She identified a problem and she's addressing it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what it is. That's none of my business. That's the police department. But
All right.
I am on the other thing, and I got the building commissioner looking at it. So let's be a little patient. And
Well,
I'll see where
I
where he's at
appreciate
with
the
it. Yeah.
effort, but like I said, it's just been going on way too long. This should have never happened, because when they first started, I went and got a bag of Speedy Dry, and Melody's father, he's the old guy over there, he said, quote, "Don't put that shit on my driveway." And what I was doing, I was putting it, trying to make a little trail so it wouldn't come on my property, away from their property. You know, I wasn't going on their property, but it was right where the borderline is. And when I was doing it, he says, "Don't put that shit on my property."
Okay,
I'm
well-
like, well, I'm just telling you what they're doing. And I've been called a racist motherfucker too, and I don't let.
Excuse me, sir. That's where I draw the line, too. You know, I'll let a couple of the S's go by, but you're not going to swear in my room.
I'm sorry.
That's it. This
I'm just trying to
conversation's
tell you
over.
what they told.
No.
I apologize.
Al, this conversation's over. I'm addressing this for you.
Okay, I
Please.
appreciate it.
That's enough.
All
Thank you.
right, but I'm just telling you what I've experienced with these people.
I understand.
And I'm not lying or stretching anything either.
This
Okay?
conversation's done, sir.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
All right.
Al, could you sign the, that we talked to you? Sign the.
Next,
form there.
we have the standing committee reports. We'll start with Finance and IT. Trustee McGlohorn.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have a request for approval of a list of payroll dated February 21st of 2025, totaling $518,431.41. Next, I have a request for approval of a list of accounts payable dated March 3rd, 2025. From the recap, General Fund, $289,952.42. Road and Bridge, $82,519.63. MFT, $20,869.27. Pulaski TIF, $175 even. Water and Sewer, $74,829.12. Sanitary Sewers, $8,547.38. Heritage Complexes, $75,922.40, for a grand total all funds of $552,815.22. And then finally, I have a request for approval to renew the Mitel ProCare software support and maintenance agreement by exercising the 3-year option of the original agreement at a cost of $21,005.35, which is the 3-year total price. And that's all I have under finances.
All right, thank you. Next, we have the Fire Committee report. Trustee Murphy.
No report tonight, Mayor.
Okay. We'll go to Police and Traffic Safety. Trustee Dalzell.
No report, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Public Work and Boat Launch Committee.
No report tonight, Mayor.
All right, thank you. And that's going to be, as a reminder to everybody, boat launch opens April 1st. Big day for smelt fishing if you're into smelt fishing, okay?
On the CalSag?
Supposed to bite the head off the first smelt that you catch. Somebody told me that. I'm not doing it.
I was told that on the CalSag River, you will never find a fish that smelt worse.
Oh, good one.
Thank you. Just thought of that.
All right.
Keep your day job.
Yeah.
That's right.
Thank you. Next, we'll go to our sewer and water report committee.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have a request for approval of a 4-year water main replacement program and Village of Alsip IEPA loan application. Next, I have a request for approval to list 2 water department vehicles retired from service on govdeals.com, AWD unit number 15 and AWD unit number 40. And that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Again, that's, and AWD is the Alsip Water Department. That's a utility vehicle that's no longer in use and a SUV that's no longer in use. Next is the building and health report. Trustee Peretta?
No report this evening, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you. Human Resource and Insurance. Trustee Murphy?
Nothing for tonight, sir.
Thank you. Special committee reports. We'll start with Economic Development Committee.
No report, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you. And then Village Properties. Trustee McGlohorn?
No report this evening, Mayor.
Thank you. Ordinance and Legislation. Trustee Peretta?
Nothing this evening, Mayor.
Okay. Then we'll go to Planning and Zoning and Licenses Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I have a request for approval of a list of licenses dated February 10th of 2025 through February 21st of 2025. And then next, I have a request for approval of an ordinance amending Appendix A subdivisions, Article 2 subdivision regulations, Section 2 tentative plat, to be submitted to the Village Board of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip. And then one final item is I just want to make an announcement that the Planning Commission will hold a public hearing on case number 2025-03-S-100 on Wednesday, March 26th at 7:30 p.m. The case in question is for an I-2 to I-2 special use for truck and trailer maintenance at the property located at 4190 West 123rd Street. And that's all I have this evening.
All right, thank you. Did anybody have any presentations, petitions, or communications they wanted to share?
I did, Mayor. Just a reminder to everybody that tomorrow is Punchki Day to Ell's Point. Tomorrow is also Fat Tuesday, which signals the end of Mardi Gras, and Wednesday is Ash Wednesday, no meat for Catholics, as well as the Fridays after that. This Sunday, also at St. Terrence, will be the Breakfast with the Easter Bunny. So bring your loved ones for $5 pancakes, sausage, and pictures with the Easter Bunny. That's all I have, sir.
All right,
But
thank you.
since you mentioned Sunday, it's a reminder that the clocks change this coming Sunday.
Let's bring them forward an hour, right?
Yep, spring forward. Saturday night, correct? Well, Sunday morning.
And then a couple of notes, too. I know Stagg High School is out of our district, but we do have some friends in the community that work with them all the time. So their music boosters are going to have the Art for the Season Arts and Crafts Festival on March 22nd and 23rd. $3 admission for adults to get into that. And please keep in mind, we'll announce as we go before we get there, but the Village of Alsip is going to have 2 weekends of no permit required garage sales, both in the spring, that's May 9th, 10th, and 11th, then in the fall at September 12, 13, and 14. And then at the same time, my assistant Becky Smith is managing the spring flower sale that's going to take place Friday and Saturday, May 9th and 10th. On the Friday, it's from 9 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon, Saturday from 9 in the morning until noon, cash or check only. And she's got an array of, she always does a nice job of flowers, making these available to the public at a very competitive price. And that's all we have for this evening. Did anyone want to remove anything from the consent agenda? Nothing? Can I get a motion then to establish the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call number 1 to establish consent agenda. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McGlohorn?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Navas-Barza is absent. Trustee Peretta?
Yes.
Motion carries to establish consent agenda.
Thank you. Can I get a motion then to approve the consent agenda as presented?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Item E, approval of a resolution authorizing execution of the application for the County of Cook, Illinois 2025 Community Development Block Grant Program Year, which requests $400,000 in funding for the roadway improvement of 119th Street Alley between Keeler and Kamensky. Will now be known as Resolution 2025-03-R-1. Item F, approval of the resolution to authorize execution of a grant application for the Invest in Cook Grant Program, which will request funding for improvements along Homan Avenue from 131st Street North to the railroad tracks, will now be known as Resolution 2025-03-R-2. Item M, approval of an ordinance amending Appendix A, subdivisions, Article 2, subdivision regulations, Section 2, tentative plat to the, sorry, I lost my place, to be submitted to the Village Board of the Municipal Code of the Village of Alsip, will now be known as Ordinance 2025-03-1. Roll call number 2 to approve consent agenda. Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez Mendoza is absent. Trustee McGawhorn?
Yes.
Trustee Murphy?
Yes.
Trustee Navas Garza is absent. Trustee Preda?
Yes.
Motion carries to approve consent agenda.
Thank you very much. Did anybody have any unfinished business they want to talk about? Any new business? None? Then can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Time now is 7:56 p.m., and we'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you for joining us, and for the students, if you guys need signatures, come on up, we'll sign your agenda for you.